Hello everybody, Matthew and Ellie here. Welcome to the first installment of the Robinsontrek.
Hooray!
Hooray! This introduction video is going to cover just a little overview of what this blog is going to be about, what we're going to talk about, all the things that are going to cover this 24-day backpacking trip. So, right now we're in Seattle. It's about 5:30 in the evening. We're getting ready to go to bed here pretty soon because we've got an early flight tomorrow and we want to adjust our clocks to the 8-hour time difference. So, before we begin or get too far into it, I do want to mention that we're assuming if you're watching this, you probably already know who we are.
Hi, Mom!
So, if you don't know who we are, just pop over to the About tab at the top of the blog. We'll have a little bit more information there about who we are, why we're doing this blog. But again, we assume probably, since we haven't reached world fame yet, probably most of you are friends and family. So, let's just talk a little bit about what we're doing, why we're doing the blog. So, an overview of the trip.
We will be starting in Dublin, Ireland, then off to Edinburgh, Scotland, down to London, England, over to Berlin, Germany, and then up to Rostock, Germany, back down to Berlin, then to Prague, Munich, Paris, and Brussels.
Though we've been planning this trip for a while, we've changed our itinerary a couple of times, yes. Especially in the recent past. So some things have changed a little bit as we go, and who knows, things might change a little bit once we get there as well.
It's possible.
Nothing's set in stone. We're not really there to see anything particular. We're there really just for the cultural experience, so we'll kind of see where things take us.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit more about kind of why we're doing the trip, that sort of thing in future videos. But for now, that kind of gives you an overview of what we're doing. A little bit also about what you'll find here at the blog. So we'll be posting sometimes video, sometimes photos, sometimes just a blurb if we're busy. But each day we're going to try to have some fresh content so that you can check in, see where we're at, see what we're up to.
Yes.
Especially so that our family can kind of pop in and see us, that sort of thing. So that's what you'll find here. And I do want to mention with that said that we're not professional travelers, we're not professional bloggers, we're not professional photographers.
No.
We're really just doing this for the heck of it. I mean, it's really just sort of an experiment. So feel free to leave any comments or suggestions. We'd be happy to try to integrate some of those in the comments tab down there. You have to scroll down a little bit. See it? Yep, there. Okay. Lastly, we'll talk a little bit about why we're doing the blog. The main reason that we're doing it is we wanted a sort of a living album, something that we could go back with our kids, with our grandkids, and see what we were like, what life was like, what this trip was like, something instead of just a photo, something that we could go back and see. So that's one of the main reasons. The other reason is to check in with family each day.
It makes it a little more personal than just a mass email out to everybody. Now we're just doing a mass blog post.
Which is more personal in some ways because we can talk to people maybe specifically about different places that we go. And so it kind of makes it easy. People can just pop in, check on us, family, friends, whoever, see what we're up to. And then the third reason that we want to do this, and this is one that we're both really passionate about, is Ellie and I both feel like knowledge is pretty worthless if it's not shared. Yeah. So, like I mentioned, we really don't know what we're doing at all. And we anticipate a lot of kind of ups and downs and maybe missed planes or trains or...
So we want to share our mistakes and our hopeful successes. And
Exactly. Share it with people so that maybe you can avoid some of the things that we did, find some of the things that we did. Like I said, this is really a cultural experience for us, so we're going to be talking to locals about what we should see. We may not see some of the things that are technically a must-see. We're just going to kind of go with the flow, see what finds us, see what we find. And so we want to share that with people out there that maybe otherwise would just go straight to all the... I don't want to say cliche. There's a reason people go to the Louvre.
Well, it's just not a traditional trip.
Indeed. Indeed. That's exactly the way to put it. Non-traditional.
A non-traditional trip.
Exactly. So that's essentially what you're going to find here. That's why we're doing the blog. That's who we are.
Check out the resource page.
Oh, yes, exactly. Also at the top of the blog is the resource page, and we're going to be talking about resources a little bit along the way as well. So things like what we packed for 3 weeks, because we are backpacking. Everything we need for 3 weeks is going to be sitting in a 25-pound bag on our back. So we'll talk a little about... Yeah, that's true. She cut weight better than I did. But we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Ticket prices, saving, all sorts of things. We'll be talking about that as well, including equipment. So anyway, stop in as often as you like. We'll try to have at least one post every day and little updates as we go. Until then,
sounds good.
Until next time, I guess.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.